So at some point in life, you started accepting less. You started accepting less than what you actually want for yourself. I don't know when it happened, but you do. Maybe it was because someone else got it before you did. Maybe you had it but lost it. Maybe life just wore you down. You had some crazy circumstances that happened and you had to take what you can get. But you accepting less than what you actually want for yourself is costing you. And it's costing you big time. So we're going to talk about it. My name is Ger'rell King. I grew up with a dad in jail my whole life and a mom on drugs. I turned that into a very happy and successful, fulfilling life. And now I help other people who grew up in bad circumstances or struggle with life to get fit for the game of life. Because that's what this is. It's a game. And you have to be fit to win. So you got to be in shape. So let's talk about it. So settling is a choice, just like everything else in this life. Everything's a choice. If you want something, you want a certain pay. You want a certain income. You want a certain car. You want a certain house. You want a certain, car, outfit, live in a certain type of location, certain type of friends. If you don't have any of those things, it's because you choose to allow that to be the truth. Because everything's in your control. Everything can be changed in a matter of days, let alone weeks and years. But at some point in your life, you decided to accept not having what it is that you want. The issue with that is you've now made what you don't want your standard of life. You made it your normal. Your new normal is living a life that's not what you want. And the problem with that is now you're going to live your life unhappy. You're going to live your life jealous of people, angry at the world, angry at other people who have what you want. You're going to bash them, hate on them. You might be, what's the word that I'm thinking of? Resentment. You might walk around carrying resentment, become a hater. All of these different things, all because other people have what you want and you decided to not continue to strive to get those things. But you can. There's nothing stopping you. There's no one stopping you. The only person who's stopping you is yourself, your ego, your pride, your impatience. But that could all be changed. You see, the thing about settling is you never really see it coming. It just kind of happens out of nowhere. Like it happens over time. Because when you settle once, you continue to settle every day. Like if you want a certain car, but you go buy a car that's not the car that you want, every day that you have that car and drive that car is another day that you're settling. And then eventually that car is going to break down, or you're going to have car troubles or whatever it is. And you're going to be more mad that you got to fix the car that you don't want. And you're going to be more mad that you have a car that you don't want when you could have just got the car that you wanted. So it's compounding. It's like, again, you don't wake up and you just have the car that you didn't want. It's the same with debt. It's a compound thing. It's the interest. Settling charges interest. Every day that you put more, invest more, or have more debt, even if you make the minimum payment, what you owe goes up because it's compounding. You're getting charged interest on the debt of what you owe. So your settling is the same thing. It's going to compound. It's going to get worse and worse and worse every day until you change it. You got to pay off the debt. You got to go debt free. And then when you're debt free, at least you're at zero, and then you can work your way up from there. But that's the issue, is it compounds. It's the same on the flip side of like making money. When you invest in a stock market, ETF portfolio, whatever, and you start making money, the more that you put in, the longer that you leave it in, it's gonna start to accumulate interest. And now you're gonna get a return on your investment. Now you're in the green compared to when it's the debt. When it's the settling, you're in the red. But it doesn't happen overnight. It's every day. So you got to get up every day and do something about it. This beach is nice. This is where we at right now. Speaking of settling, you know, the main areas I see people settle in: relationships, their job, where they live, car they drive, how much money they make, their health, their fitness, and their physique. This is where I see most people settle. And again, it's because it's invisible. It's because no one's really pushing them to get what they want. Because it's up to them. Other people don't know what you want. It's up to you. So if you're unhappy with your relationship, only you know that. But again, the issue is compounding. And the longer that you stay in that relationship unhappy, the longer it's going to become normal. And the longer that it becomes normal, the longer you're going to be content and realize that you might not even be unhappy anymore. It might not even be settling anymore. That's just what you have. It might even become what you like. Who knows? I know this because I've been there. I've been in debt. I've been in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. And it was very uncomfortable. But I didn't allow it to become my norm. I didn't allow it to become something that I was okay with. I knew that something had to be done and something needed to be done as soon as possible. And I had to make drastic changes to be able to get rid of that debt because I let it compound for years and years and years. That's why I use that analogy of being in debt, because it's the perfect example. It was terrible. It was a terrible experience for me. You know, and I did the work and you could do the work too. But it starts with first realizing that you can't settle. It can't become your normal. You can't accept less than what it is that you want for yourself. You also can't allow people to make you feel bad for wanting more for yourself. You see, we live in a world where, again, people will demonize you, villainize you, do all of these different things to try to shame you for wanting the most out of life, for wanting more for yourself. I drove Uber for a long time ago, but for at least 5 years I drove Uber. And it makes me think of a story of a guy that I picked up. And he was a successful guy, black guy. And he said, and me, I tend to be rather modest in life, pretty humble for the most part. I can be cocky, don't get me wrong. I am the man. But I try to be pretty modest. I let other people talk me up. But this guy was saying, he said, look, man, if you're out and you're, let's say at a work event or a business event or whatever, and there's food and there's, you know, some chicken or whatever out for you to be able to get something to eat, get the piece of chicken that you want. Don't think, well, I don't want this piece of chicken. Even though it's the one that I want, I'm not going to get this piece of chicken because someone else might want it. So I'm going to leave it so that they can have it. No, you get the big piece of chicken, bro. If someone offers to buy you a drink, don't say, oh, well, I'm just going to get, you know, something cheap or some water or, you know, whatever it is. No, bro, get the drink that you want. Like, don't settle. Don't accept a life that's not what you want. You only get one. Life is what you make it. Why make it less than what it is that you want when you can have what you want? Why choose less? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't at all. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how a person could desire something, want something, but choose not to have it, and then accept what they have that's not what they want and choose to just keep that when they can do more and get more. But that's what it also requires, is more likely than not, you're going to have to do more You're not gonna get away with doing the bare minimum or doing less to get more of what you want. You're probably gonna have to do more yourself to get more of what you want. Excuse all the noise out here, man. I'm at the beach, it's crazy. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself what it is that you actually want. I don't want you to be modest. I don't want you to be realistic. I want you to think about what it is that you actually want. Because then we can start. We have somewhere to start from. Then we can actually do something about it. But until you know exactly what you actually want, there's nothing that you could do. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take some time and to think about what it is that you actually want. What do you want for yourself? What do you want in your life? Like actually want. What car do you want? What house do you want? How many kids do you want if you want kids? What business do you want to have? How much money do you want to make a year? All of these things. I need you to sit and think and write these things down so that you know what you actually want. I don't want you to be modest. I don't want you to be humble. I don't want you to be realistic. I want you to be honest. What it is that you actually want out of your life. And then we can work backwards from there. Because there's no way of having a plan, a strategy, even a direction in life. There's no way to even know where you're going if you don't know what you want. You don't know what the destination is. It's like GPS. Where are you driving to if you didn't put an address into your GPS? Are you just driving around? Are you just playing this game of life with no strategy, with no plan, with no goal? You don't even know what your score is. And that leads to my next point. Click the link in the description box below. Take the game of life assessment that I put together for you so you can know what your score is. Find out your score to the game of life. It's going to ask you some questions, answer them honestly, and then you're going to get your answer. It's going to rank everything that's going on in your life in the areas that you're struggling and in the areas that you're strong in. And you're going to be surprised. I guarantee you it's going to be the most knowledgeable, beneficial thing that you've done for yourself in a long time. And from there, you can start making adjustments. So if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to help you win this game of life. But it starts with knowing where you rank. Until next time, peace out.